Good evening and welcome to the Victoria Boulevard Apartments Environmental Scoping Meeting. My name is Belinda Dinas, Principal Planner, and I'm pleased to introduce you to the team working with me on this effort. The city has contracted with Michael Baker International, a local planning firm, to prepare the project's environmental impact report, which was initiated by the City Council in February 2021. From Michael Baker's team, we have Kristen Bogue, Project Manager, as well as Eddie Torres, Project Director, here with us tonight. Tonight's meeting will feature a brief presentation by the city's consultant and the applicant. There will also be an opportunity for public comments. If you would like to provide public comments, please fill out a speaker card and return to Allison by the entry door. Following the presentation, we ask that public comments be generally limited to 3 minutes to allow all attendees to have an opportunity to participate. Please note that this scoping meeting is being recorded and this video will be posted on the city's YouTube page for future reference. With that, I would like to turn it over to Kristen for the presentation. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Kristen Bogue. I'm with Michael Baker International. Tonight, we're here to go over the purpose of this scoping meeting, have an overview on the proposed project, discuss the environmental review process, discuss topics that we anticipate to be analyzed in the environmental impact report, and solicit public input from the public regarding the scope of the EIR, or environmental impact report. So the purpose of this scoping meeting. So the purpose is to inform the public of the proposed project and the city's intent to complete an environmental impact report, or EIR. We're going to present an overview of the environmental review process. We're going to go over the environmental topics to be addressed in the EIR. And the intent of this is to receive public comment regarding the environmental topics and issue areas of concern. So this scoping meeting is for the Victoria Boulevard Apartments project. The project site is located in an area called Doheny Village, at the southern corner of Victoria Boulevard and Sepulveda Avenue. At this time, I would like to invite the applicant representative with Toll Brothers, Michael, to join us at the podium and discuss the project in further detail.
Am I allowed to take this off? Okay. Thank you very much, Kristen. My name is Michael McCann. I'm with Toll Brothers Apartment Living. I'm the Regional Director of Development for Toll Brothers, tasked with building an apartment, mixed-use, hotel presence in Southern California for Toll. I'm joined by John Hyde, who's a Senior Project Manager with Toll Brothers as well. And just want to give you a quick overview of the project. This is a 5.5 acre site that historically has been a school maintenance yard, or at least in the recent history, owned by Capistrano Unified School District. They use it as a bus yard, maintenance. It's largely not abandoned, but it's certainly has a lower value to them, as it's not a more active site for the school district. As such, they've made it available to the development community. They're going to retain ownership, and we are going to lease it from them, so that we can build a 365-unit luxury, highly amenitized community. Within this community, the buildings would range from 3 to 5 stories. There'd be some 4-story elements in there as well. You know, these are the type of communities that create a pride of rentership. The goal of them is to create a location where people can come, park their cars, spend the weekend, and try to stay off the roads because of the amenities that are within our project. But they're also designed to be reaching out to the community and enjoy the benefits of the Dana Point community as well. The project will be parked internally. All of our residents, all of our guests will have the ability to park within a parking structure internal to the site. That structure will be wrapped by the residential building. There will be public open space areas and private open space areas. The public open space areas in particular are meant to address the current zoning that effectively has asked for 1.1 acres of open space. So we are going to provide that on site in a series of parks along Victoria Boulevard and Sepulveda. And perhaps most importantly, we are opening up the what's historically been known as La Playa Avenue along the back slope of the project. Will now be available to the public as a walking, biking trail. There's also going to be a public dog park for the community, and workout stations, decorative benches, and other acts of art along that La Playa Avenue, and also in these other parks at the corners of the project. Other benefits to the project include up to 42 affordable housing units. That'll be a mix of income restricted units. That's of not only a great benefit to the community it's meant to serve, but also to the city of Dana Point, which does have state mandated obligation to find ways to provide affordable housing within the city itself. There's also going to be on-street parking improvements to try to alleviate some of the tight parking in the area, but that'll be for the community itself and not for our residents. That's effectively kind of a short description of the project. John Hyde and I are going to remain here for questions that may come up that we can help answer.
So as part of the application for the Victoria Boulevard Apartments project, the application seeking a general plan amendment, a zone change, a tentative parcel map, a local coastal plan amendment, a site development permit, development agreement, site plan review, adoption of the proposed Victoria Boulevard specific plan, certification of a project level EIR, and subsequent grading building permits. So this is an overview of the purpose of CEQA. So the California Environmental Quality Act, otherwise referenced as CEQA, the purpose is to disclose information about potentially significant environmental effects of a project. Once those environmental effects are disclosed, and if any of them are potentially significant, the goal of CEQA is to mitigate such effects to the extent feasible. The purpose of CEQA is also to enhance public participation in the overall planning process, as well as to foster interagency coordination. So here's an overview of the process. So right now we're in this initial study phase. So right here, we're in the beginning of the process. The city staff and Michael Baker have documented an initial study. We go through 20 environmental topic areas, and we scope which topic areas we think will go to the draft EIR phase. At this time, we're seeking public input and agency input on the scope of the environmental impact report. Upon closing this public review period for the initial study, we will draft the EIR, and that document will be released for public review as well. At this time, the public and the agencies will have another opportunity to provide input on the draft EIR. That period will be 45 days. Upon close of the 45-day public review period, city staff and Michael Baker will prepare a formal response to comments document to public comment made on the draft EIR, and that will be rolled into what's called the final EIR, which will be published prior to project hearing for consideration. During public hearing, agencies and public will also have another opportunity to provide public input, and then we would draft the findings resolution for the purposes of CEQA. Based on the initial study, which is available on the city's website and at the city planning counter, the initial study determined that we anticipate these environmental topic areas that will carry over into the environmental impact report. Specifically, they'd be land use, aesthetics, light and glare, tribal and cultural resources, geology and soils, hydrology and water quality, hazards and hazardous materials, transportation, air quality and greenhouse gas emissions, energy, noise, population and housing, public services, recreation, and utilities. Of these topic areas, cumulative effects will also be considered, And depending on which potentially significant impacts the city staff determined that would be significant and unavoidable, we'll develop alternatives to the proposed project with the purpose of trying to reduce those significant unavoidable impacts if there are any. So here's a tentative schedule for the EIR, or Environmental Impact Report. Right now we're in the 30-day public review period, which opened on July 19th, and it will close at 5 p.m. on August 17th. We will then draft the EIR. It should be released for that 45-day public review period, likely in late 2021. Then we would go into the final EIR stage, and we anticipate public hearings around spring of 2022. This project is also required to go before the California Coastal Commission, which would follow likely summer of 2022. So again, at this time, the initial study is available for review on the city's website and at the city planning counter. We're asking for public comment regarding the scope of the environmental impact report. We're requesting also written comment be provided to Belinda Daines. Her contact information is here on this screen. Please submit all comments in writing by 5 p.m. on August 17th. So at this time, I'd like to turn it back over to Belinda to open the public comment portion of our meeting.
Great, thank you, Kristen. We will go ahead and open the meeting for public comments. Do we have any? Looks like we have no comments. So if you would like to submit written comments, please email me directly at bdines@danapoint.org. The project's initial study is also available on the city's website under environmental documents. This concludes the environmental scoping meeting. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your evening.